Welcome back, land stewards. My name's Isabel, and today I'm here in eastern Wisconsin to teach you about some common aquatic invasive species that can be found across the Midwest. In this video, I will be talking about a non-native species known as purple loosestrife. I will teach you to identify it using a few key visual markers and then discuss some methods of control. Purple loosestrife is an herbaceous perennial plant that's native to Asia and Europe. Purple loosestrife can commonly be found in riparian areas, meaning it prefers to grow near water. It likes to grow in wet soils and can withstand flooding or even grow in standing water. Purple loosestrife can thrive in both full sun and in shade. Purple loosestrife can have a dense formation with up to 50 stems coming off a single rootstock, and it can be anywhere from 3 to 7 feet tall. Some key features that could help you identify purple loosestrife would be the flower, the leaves, and the stem. The stems of purple loosestrife can become woody with age, so towards the base of the plant they might be a little brownish, and then the top of the plant will have fresh green growth. The purple loosestrife stem will have distinct edges and ridges. It generally has about 4 sides, so it will feel like a square. The leaves of purple loosestrife are simple, meaning they grow directly off the stem, and they generally grow opposite of each other, but they can occasionally grow in a whorl of 3. They are smooth, and they grow to be about 1 to 4 inches long. As the leaves go up the stem, you may notice that they alternate from one another at 90 degrees. The flowers on purple loosestrife have 5 to 6 petals each. They're this bright pinkish purple color, and they begin blooming towards the base of the stem and then continue towards the top. So as you can see on this specimen, the bottom flowers have bloomed and the top flowers have yet to bloom. The flower spike on purple loosestrife can begin flowering in June and continue flowering all the way through September. Purple loosestrife is able to dominate other plants very easily because of its rapid growth pattern and its ability to form a denser plant each year with new stems. Purple loosestrife can quickly form a dense stand which chokes out any native species in the surrounding area. A single purple loosestrife plant can produce 2.5 million seeds per year, and the seeds are generally distributed through the nearby water systems. This is how purple loosestrife is able to easily dominate riverbanks and the edges of riparian zones. Because purple loosestrife can form such dense colonies on riverbanks, it may alter the water quality or even the amount of water in the area, which changes the hydrology and creates unsuitable habitat for most native species that would prefer that area, like sedges and marsh grasses. When monocultures of purple loosestrife form and native plant species are choked out, the habitat required for species such as the Baltimore checker spot butterfly or the marsh wren no longer exist, and they cannot thrive in that habitat anymore. There are multiple forms of control that will work to reduce purple loosestrife. You can use mechanical, chemical, or biocontrol. Mechanical control would include digging or pulling the entire root system of the plant. Chemical control would include cutting the plant and treating the stems, and biocontrol would include rearing beetles and releasing them to control the plant on their own. Remember, no matter which form of control you choose to implement, you always want to wear proper personal protective equipment. Proper personal protective equipment should always include boots, long pants, long sleeves, proper gloves depending on your method of control, and you may want to consider wearing a hat and some glasses to shield your face. For mechanical methods of control, you could either hand pull or dig up purple loosestrife. You're going to want to do this when the soil is moist or on a younger, not so mature plant, because then the root system won't be so developed. You're going to want to make sure you grip the base of the plant firmly and tug lightly. If you feel a lot of resistance, that's when you're going to need a shovel. Ensure you remove the entire root system, as purple loosestrife can re-root from fragmented roots. For the cut stump method, you're going to want to gather up all of the stems of the purple loosestrife plant and cut them about 2 inches above the soil surface, and then immediately apply your 50% glyphosate mixture. You want to do this immediately because the plant will begin to form a scar on that open edge and over time be less likely to pull the chemical down into the root system. If you choose to use a chemical method of control, you will need to determine if you need a permit. If your purple loosestrife is growing in or near standing water, please go to the link below to determine if your situation requires an NR 107 aquatic plant management permit. If you're interested in using the biocontrol methods of the Gallirusella beetle, then you're going to want to go to the link below and follow those steps to find out how you can participate in this control method. For mechanical methods of control, you can start performing them in June all the way through August. You primarily want to pull the plant before the seeds start to form to avoid spreading the plant through seed dispersal. For a chemical method of control, you can begin in late summer or early fall. You want to do this when most of the surrounding plants have gone dormant and the purple loosestrife is still remaining. If you're using a mechanical method of control like hand pulling or digging, you're going to want to make sure that you remove the entire root system because fragmented roots can form new plants. If you're using the cut stem method with the chemical, you're going to want to make sure that you bag all plant material that you remove. This is because the plant will likely be going to seed at the time and you're going to want to collect as many seeds as you can. Once you have the material bagged, it's a good idea to let it sit out in the hot sun for up to 7 days so that it can dry out entirely. You're going to want to dispose of the bag in your regular trash so it goes to the landfill. You never want to compost invasive plant material as the seeds may still be viable and spread the plant further. Once you've removed purple loosestrife, you may want to consider putting down some native seed to reestablish the area so any resprouts will have a little competition. Thanks for watching, and remember, you can take action today to prevent the spread of aquatic invasive species.